mentally speaking right now, they are in a big challenge. Just to put in context, right, when ENCE came up and had that crazy run at Cologne, they became some sort of champion for the public. Everyone liked ENCE, they were very exciting.
Sure.
Now they are actually on the bad side of people. They removed Alexibi. A lot of people don't agree with that move. And Sonny talked about it in his interview. He said, we feel the pressure from the outside. So watching that game again, I watched it today in my room, you could see this is not the final form of ENCE. This is a very shaky version of ENCE.
It was an ENCE that showed, glimpses of what we can expect for the future, though. I think on Dust 2, they were up 14-11. It was a map they let slip out of their hands, basically. They should have won that without any doubt whatsoever. So the fact they weren't able to do that, that's going to be some of that growing pain we're going to have when their new lineup. They're having a new in-game leader, and Alu as well. He's going to, find out how can he elevate the team? How can he enable all the tools he has around him? And that's going to be a process, where there's going to be growing pains. And I think we saw some of those yesterday against G2. So it is a little bit of, trying to advocating for ENCE. They should have won against G2 yesterday. They let it slip out of their hands. So it would be cool to see today that did they actually learn from those mistakes yesterday, and can they, now do it and finish off the job as they were so close to yesterday.
Now, in that HLTV interview, you mentioned Maniac. Sonny said Alu hasn't been miscalling. Would you agree?
I don't usually think that the calls were the problem. I think they collectively made mistakes in some situations they shouldn't have lost. But the situation about the in-game leader is very interesting. You have Alu and Sonny, who both at different times in their career were what I would call a co-leader. So they would be, they would be giving ideas to their in-game leaders, and they would do that very great. But now Alu has to be that number one, and Sonny, I think his role way beyond fragging is also helping him be in that position, because he's been a co-leader before. But we have to give time to Alu. And you know me, I used to be a big fan of Alexibi and the way he was playing and the way he was leading that team. So I'm kind of restraining myself, but we need to give them some weeks at least to figure out how they're going to function as a team.
Allow me to be the guy then. Because I think, it's one of those, and you talked about it as well a little bit, you touched upon it at least. It's one of those scenarios where as a player, if you're that secondary caller on a team, you feel that, right, I made a good call here, I made a good call here. Maybe you have 2 or 3 good calls doing a matchup, right? And then you think, well, I could be doing this all the time. It's like if you're playing the AWP as well. If you have, 1 or 2 rounds where you do well, you're thinking to yourself, well, I could be the new Guardian, I could do this every round. That's just not how it works, right? Because you have to do it over and over again, and you don't have to do it occasionally, you have to do it all the time. So Alu really have a big task on his hand, and what I've seen so far is not necessarily missed calls or anything. It's just, he has a really big work burden that he needs to figure out how to handle.
No, but I'm just laughing because what you said about the in-game leader, that's so true. And in my head, I had the image of, when you keep someone else's kids and you say, oh, one night, that was amazing, I think we can be parents. And then they say, wait a minute, when you have them all the time.
Everyday life,
that's
right?
the same thing.
Well, we're powering through in New York, apparently, because we're ready to see the veto.
Ooh.
So hopefully that's going to come up right now, in fact. Perfect. Of course, G2 always banning Mirage first.
Yeah. We were talking in the green room, the veto should be the same. Mirage should be removed, Vertigo should be removed. Now the picks might be different. G2 are picking Dust 2 again. I don't think they have much room for improvement or for maneuver. Nah. But ENCE, I think ENCE is going to throw a curveball into this. I could see a train come in, I could see an overpass come in. They go for nuke again. Okay, then, show it on the server. Pick that map again.
See, I'm curious to that new pick, right? Because on Dust 2, they definitely let it slip out of their hands. They should have won that map. I believe G2 won both pistol rounds, and yet ENCE was still up 14-11. Now, for Nuke, it was vice versa. I think ENCE won both pistol rounds. They had Aerial do a 1 versus 3 clutch as well, yet they were still struggling to finish out that map. If you're not winning, you're winning both pistol rounds, you're having Aerial do a 1 versus 3 clutch, you're in general getting a lot of rounds you shouldn't be winning, and you're still not able to win your own map pick. That's when it gets, down to a thing where, what if you lost one of those pistols? Would you just been blown out by G2 on your own map pick? Now that you're picking it again, I really sincerely hope that they learned a lot from that game yesterday, because that was the map I was the least impressed with from ENCE.
And it really did feel like G2 just capitalized on their opponent's mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely so. And you have to realize there are rumors around this G2 lineup. We don't really know what's going to happen. Apparently, 2 new players should step in. Kiyoshima is just a stand-in. Lucky's on his way out. But that means they have no pressure. They can just relax.
Sure.
And we talk about Lucky. He did not have a great performance in G2, but actually he posted 50 frags on that best of 3. He was the highest rated for them. That hasn't happened in a very, very long time. So it might happen again. They are playing basically loose and free, whereas ENCE have all the pressure.
Well, a couple of gents who love to play loose and free are, of course, Anders and Moses. It's their final best of 3 series here, ESL 1, powered by Cologne. So we're going to head straight over to them as we essentially play a carbon copy of the veto we saw yesterday.
Thank you so much, Frankie. It's going to be an interesting time, isn't it? ENCE and G2. This is a wild game last time around, so I'm excited for it.
Yes, I am to a degree. I just keep thinking back yesterday. I mean, I am excited, but I do just look back to like the matches yesterday, and I'm like, ENCE threw those so hard. And I don't want to like take anything from G2, but they were up on both maps with like a great chance to win both of them and just completely drop the ball.
Yeah, that's a good point, but I'm sure they will have had that conversation.
Yeah, but it's not like something you can really just like fix with a conversation, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you just kind of at this point as well. You're just kind of hoping it plays out differently, and I imagine to a certain degree, like 9 times out of 10, like I don't remember the exact like leads that they had, but probably more often than not they closed those games out. So it's just one of those things where it's just like that just left me with a really bad taste in my mouth afterwards. I will say, Kenny S is very exciting these days.
He's super fun to watch, and the loose style, the sort of weird place the G2 are in. It could lead us to a lot of fun on that front all on its own. And here we go.
That music, how do you feel about it? Do you like that as like an entrance into the battle?
It's very high powered. I kind of appreciate the Dota 2 Falcon.
Okay. Yeah, we have that at Cologne as well.
I kind of like that.
The battle horn is pretty sick.
That's preferable. Now, pushing into Upper Dark, I like that too from ENCE. And even in middle as well. This is very aggressive. Kenny is guarding a barrel in the middle. Oh, straight headshot and going for a secondary fight, or at least spotting a second player. And he won't win the fight against Sunny. But still, the A-bomb side is going the way with G2.
Listen, Sergey said they were going to play a very similar style to what they did yesterday, and I can't blame them because they had those leads that we just referenced were thrown away, and they loved that catwalk aggression. And again, opening up with it. Here we are, Alu trying to stay back, trying to keep their heads down, not allow them to peek and really support their teammates. Kiyoshima, though, he's taking the attention away. Good kill from Sunny. 2 players just left on G2, and they're both on the low ground. The defuse is starting. They can't even jump and go for the shot. Actually, these fights need to happen. Alu needs to commit to this, and the kit is going to bail him out. G2 could never get a clean shot onto the diffuser, and pistol round goes to ENCE.
Not the way you really want to be losing a pistol round after doing all that work and getting up and getting the bomb down. Very unfortunate, but ENCE are going to be excited.
Yeah, they've got to be. And I mean, you want to talk about the very close comebacks yesterday. You have to imagine it's going to be a very similar affair. Also the same, very similar vetoes. I don't know if you noticed the Betway odds as well at the beginning of this game. Very, very close, very even.
Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? I don't think anyone is going to be way off track on that one. Right along. Alu to open up, and, well, Sunny also there. All the M4s are in play. And 3 versus 5 with really no progress at all for G2 in this second round.
Yeah, they've lost so much early on. Kenny S and Kiyoshima with mid control, but what can you actually gain from that? Sunny looking for a fight. He's going to find a good amount of damage on Kiyoshima down to 59. And ENCE has given up this A bomb site entirely. Ariel and Alu both playing out towards long A, and they'll just say, whatever, get into the A bomb site, plant the bomb if you want. We're not going to let you win the round. We'll do a 5-on-3 retake. We just want to make sure we don't lose these critical extremities.
Yeah, because, I mean, you do sort of feel like maybe you would be tempted to try and fight for the bomb site itself, but if you do that and somehow they trade favorably,
yeah,
it's not cool.
Lucky 1D, Kenny gets a pick with a scout, whatever it might be, and then all of a sudden you're in a similar situation, just a man down. And I like the way that G2's doing this. You kind of have to take a risk like this in a 3-on-5 very quietly. No utility being used. No one making a footstep yet. Kiyoshima just going to clear it out with the powerful rifle while Kenny stays far back. He's got the bomb, though, is the issue. Would have been nice to have the bomb on Almanek, but now they all have to kind of give up the game once Kiyoshima clears out Catwalk. And Sunny has all the intel.
So bomb goes down. They don't get spotted really on the approach to the bomb site, but now 3 versus 5 for the retake. And actually G2, I think, I even kind of appreciate this part. They almost have to go a bit aggressive to try and take some early fights, because if they just stay on the bomb side and wait, that is certainly not a recipe for success. Kenny, not going to be a headshot this time either, and nobody goes down for ENCE, sort of, cementing the fact that that was the right choice for them.
Yeah, very good job from ENCE. As we covered a couple times, the second round on the board for the defense. The plant will help G2. I don't know if they'll buy here. They're right on the edge. They might just want to save one and make sure you can get that up in Kenny's hands. But that's not the line of thinking they have, Anders. They're going for the AK-47s. And the MAC-10s. We had a lot of fun with the MAC-10s yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it's never really boring, is it? But it's not Kenny with a knob, so...
Yeah, that's the one tough part, isn't it?
There's that complaint.
Always a complaint.
He's going to be running out long. He's got the Mac 10 and charging into Sunny, assisted heavily with the flashbangs. Lucky actually on throwing those flashbangs, and he runs into an AK bullet. So
I do notice we always talk about like that long corner as like a roll of the dice in terms of utility, in terms of who gets blind.
Yeah,
I do notice G2 has always, for whatever reason, I feel like they come out on top of that when they have like the Mac 10s. Like their flashbangs just seem to be better.
On point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that's worth studying at some future point. Just figuring out exactly how you do that. I mean, positioning of the grenade is one thing, but then there's the interval between grenades. You know, if you're throwing 3 or 4 in a row,
yeah,
how long do you wait between them? All those little details, absolutely.